changing, they have a passion or they have a desire or they have a main reason to do it. It's not because someone else wants them to do it or the doctor says that they want to do it. They actually want to do it themselves, and that makes it life-changing. You know, the doctor can tell you to stop smoking. You know, most people they probably don't want to go to the doctor, or they already know the doctor told them. The doctor called the cigarette box told them not to smoke, and they did it anyway. So they know they're not supposed to do it, but they don't have a desire or passion to make that life change, so they continue to do it. So the thing about a life-changing decision is you've got to have the passion to want to do it. And unfortunately, a lot of people would rather do resolutions of something they may feel that if I don't do it, at least I tried. But a life-changing decision means life-changing. It changes your life.
How long does it take to break a habit?
They say 30 days, right?
That's what I heard.
But to break a habit or to make a habit?
To break in or make a habit, I think.
Make a new habit.
I know to make a habit, they say 30 days. To break a habit, I would guess longer than that. I mean,
let me tell you something.
To
break a habit could be 31 days, the day after you made the 30 days. I'm just, I'm going to be facetious. Y'all know how I am here. Talayah, you don't know me. You don't know yet, but you're about to know. I'm facetious. I'm everybody on this radio show. I don't care what people say. My baby told me to bring my voice down. Yeah. I don't care what people say. I don't care what people say. You know me. I get excited. I'm a preacher.
You and Talayah.
I'm a preacher. I get excited. You can't ask the anointing to stop talking. It's the anointing. But let me just say this. You got me for missing when I was people. When they say 30 days, I'm gonna tell you something. You can do something for 3 years in a pattern and then break it. There's been people who smoked and stopped and then started again. They want to tell you that it only takes 30 days, but you have to have a day-to-day commitment. That's what you've got to have. That's me. True. If you sit there and think that because that 30th day come, you broke that thing. Any kind of stressful relation or a change of life can make you go right back into that thing. That's why a lot of people who used to smoke when they had some kind of a traumatic situation smoked again, or those persons who used to drink, they come back again. And those people who have heard that before, that said that, hey, it only takes 30 days, those people are mad because they went back to that thing and they say, they told me only 30 days. So I don't agree with that. I think it has to be a day by day. And can I say this as I'm a preacher? You've got to have the life-changing decision that God is going to take you through it. Everything else is a resolution.
Well, you've got to have a why. You've got to have a really strong why that goes to your core. So I agree. You have to have that compelling reason that makes you want to break that old habit and take up a new one. And I'm sitting here looking at this bowl of dark chocolate and running my fingers through. When we have our church fast every year for 40 days, it's a progressive fast, and we don't have any sweets at all. And when we're not eating sweets, I'm just fine. I know I can't have the chocolate. It does not bother me at all. But day 41, when that fast is over, as soon as I put that first piece of chocolate in my mouth, I'm right back on.
Hey, I like that. Yeah,
there are some habits that it takes longer, depending
on
how ingrained it
is. For that, though.
Oh yeah, well, antioxidants.
Yeah.
I'm getting my antioxidants from my dark chocolate.
Okay.
And that's good. I got to thank my people at Barry Callebaut for giving us the chocolate, and also I got to thank Wrigley for always giving us the Skittles as well. So Barry Callebaut, Wrigley. Thank you very much. Barry Callebaut first, then Wrigley. That's where I work at. Barry Callebaut first, then Wrigley. Baby, go on. I did my little spiel.
Wrigley was my first job.
Really?
Right out of high school.
Oh, okay. Well,
I worked in the lab.
She went to Harlem.
Okay.
Look, Harlem.
Okay. Hold on for a second. I think Tracy got something.
I'm sorry, Talayah. Somebody out there loves the sound of your voice, and they keep texting me saying that they want you to speak a little bit louder.
Oh,
okay?
I'm sorry, whoever it is.
Oh my God, this is not the dating show. Whoever you are,
that was just a nice way of them telling me.
That's so nice that they want to hear her voice. Nobody call and say they want to hear my voice.
And they
can hear your voice.
It's probably because they can hear.
Right. They can hear his voice.
Go ahead, baby. I am not going to be quiet. This is my show. This is my show,
voice,
and I
baby.
talk if I want.
I know you do.
Go ahead,
but
baby.
Lower
Go
your
ahead.
Voice,
lower your, baby.
But the only thing I want to
just going to say this to you. I'm lowering my voice. I'm doing my berry for you, ain't I?
I don't like berry.
Okay, go ahead.
You don't do nothing for me.
Okay.
I'll do
You got. Yeah, well, we'll talk about that other day. But go ahead.
Anyway, as I was saying, like if a doctor tells a person, and that always bothered me, especially with men, if a doctor tells a person, stop smoking. We know smoking will kill you, but the doctor have a deadline for you. We know God have the ultimate deadline, but the doctor's telling, hey, you're going to either get cancer, you only have probably a year to live off of this, stop smoking. I have seen people with that tube in their throat, and that comes from the smoking, and they're still trying to smoke, and the smoke is coming out of their neck, and they say, I'm going to die of something anyway. That, to me, is just crazy, because my thing is, it don't have to be a resolution, but love yourself enough, because only God make the ultimate decision of when your life is cut off. The doctors, I mean, they up there, and they could give you a timeline, but it could be reversed. And I'm talking to someone out there now that need to stop smoking, that continuously smoke, and they have cancer.
But I'm going to let Tina talk about that. But you know what that is? That's a person who doesn't want to make a life change decision.
Right.
It's not easy to do that. Tina, talk about that. It's not easy to do that.
Even when you mentioned just a few minutes ago about, breaking habits and it taking 30 days or what have you, what occurred to me is, even if a person has been smoking for 30 years, if they, for whatever reason, lose the taste for that nicotine, and stop and go cold turkey, as it's called, and they stop and they never pick up another cigarette again. It didn't even take them the 30 days now, did it? Right. They just stop and they don't want it anymore. They can't stand to be around it, don't want to have it, don't want to smell it, don't want, everything. So that's why I said I don't know if it takes necessarily 30 days to break a habit. It just depends, I guess, on the individual. But the question was, what was your last question?
I just wanted to know, people, this person didn't want to make the life change decision. And we talked about it before. I mean, you're about to agree to kill yourself with, because cancer, there's no cure for it. That's going to kill you. You've already got to the point where, now your neck is messed up. You've got a hole in your neck. You got to breathe out it. And this person still doesn't want to make that life changing decision. I was saying it's hard to do that, for someone to make that decision. But even at this point now, you would think that the person would stop, but the habit has. How do you break that habit from that you have? As that song says, that habit that I had, I just can't seem to stop. Go ahead.
But see, but is that a habit or is that an addiction? Because now that person is addicted to the nicotine. I would imagine if they've been smoking it to the extent where they've had the surgery to actually have the hole in their neck or what have you. So they've even graduated, I guess, beyond habit to something so extreme as it being an addiction now.
Yeah, but I'm going to get in trouble for a second. Talayah, I'm going to let you do it. The host can get in trouble. Y'all don't have to get in trouble.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you something. I think a lot of people try to use an addiction as an excuse. Because let me tell you something. I'm addicted to living. Okay, and so if that's going to kill me, I'm addicted to. One of the reasons why I never smoked, and when I was younger, I was thinking about taking, the shots for steroids and stuff like that. But when somebody tells me things like that can kill you, that stops me. So it depends on what you're addicted to. To sit there and say that we're all going to die somehow. It's amazing how somebody who have a hole in their neck can live to be like 80-something years old, but we got kids dying at 16 because they're killing each other. So we should all be addicted to life. So I don't want people to take this as an addiction as an excuse. Yeah,
no.
It is. I'm not saying you're saying that, but I'm just saying people listening. It is an addiction, but you can break an addiction if your life-changing desire is to live. Talayah, talk to me.
And I was just going to say, we're putting a lot of focus on the smoker with the hole in the neck, but there's so many things that we can be addicted to. Food can be an addiction.
Yeah.
Excess of anything.
Chocolate.
What? Okay, now let's not get ugly.
Don't talk about my chocolate.
No, 4 people
Dark
in here
chocolate
with
is
that
healthy.
chocolate.
Dark chocolate is healthy.
Yes, in
In
moderation.
moderation. Okay, fine. Be that way. Some people are addicted to watching television. You're letting your whole life go by. You're missing out on living in your purpose.
Yeah.
There are so many
Social
things that we
media.
social media. There's so many things we think about, the obvious things.
Shopping.
But shopping, okay, now you're getting a little ugly again.
Okay.
I'm on the 12-step program for shopping. No, but there are so many things that we have to really think about what our true priorities are, what our true passion and purpose in life is, and how to tap into that, find that why. And that why will drive us. And see, I'm sitting here watching her pick up a piece of chocolate while I'm talking.
Because you beat me. I'm like, you got so many references about what.
No,
so I'm like,
those aren't mine.
oh, those
this
are
is
yours.
This is
oh,
my
okay.
only one.
Okay. I'm like,
I'm going to take mine after the show.
See, us men didn't have this problem. You see how they just
see
talking
how-
about everything.
You see how
that
easily distracted
changed?
we are?
Yeah.
We just got all off the subject when we talked about chocolate.
They're chocolate.
You should not have this bowl sitting
You're right,
here
we
in front of
shouldn't.
us.
Hey, babe, what's that next question you got going for us?
The next question, and it goes to Talayah and Tina and Rick and Tracy in regards of chocolate. Is it difficult to admit that you have to come clean to better your life? And if you get rid of that chocolate. Now, that's the question. Is it hard to admit that you guys are chocoholics here?
Is it hard? No, that's not the question. What was the question again?
Is it difficult to admit that you have to come clean to better your life?
For me, it's not.
And I would say and I'm just saying in a generic sense, it's easy for me to admit that I eat a lot of dark chocolate, that I love it. But there are some things that are easier to admit than other things. So it depends on what it is you're coming clean about. A lot of times people look at other people and think, oh, yeah, you do this, you do that. But, we got to look within ourselves and look at what are the things that we really need to we need to come clean. We don't have to come clean to the public with everything, but we have to at least come clean to ourselves and admit to ourselves what it is that we need to stop doing, what habits we need to break, what we need to start doing.
Do you think it's good? Oh, I'm sorry, Tracy.
Oh, the chocolate thing, yes. I mean, everybody knows that I'm a chocoholic. So that's not an issue. But what Talayah just said, I totally agree. If you cannot be honest with yourself, it doesn't matter if you fake or honest with anybody, if with other people, but you got to be honest with yourself if you can't be with nobody else.
And it's easy to point a finger at someone else, like just using this as a scenario. Tina, I know you need to stop fill in the blank, whereas I'm doing the same thing, but I'm not accountable for my actions. But I could be accountable for yours, So, and that's the thing that I think everyone need to come clean on. Like Talayah was saying, if you can't admit it to yourself, then who am I to judge you?
Well, I think what would be good as far as making a life change, for people to, even your listeners now, to consider, are they being honest with themselves? I mean, that's something that I noticed about myself even in high school. I noticed I could lie to my mom and daddy. I could easily lie to my mom and daddy, but I could not lie to myself in high school. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know, it was some kind of, I guess, maybe mature thinking or what have you, but if people start to become honest with themselves, I think that will help them to be more honest with other people and to reflect and maybe make those life changes that we're talking about, those better decisions, those right decisions for them to make changes in their lives.
I will say this. I'm sorry, babe. It is very difficult to admit. And as Tina's saying, she doesn't have any issues there. I don't really believe it, but
I'm honest with myself.
It's hard to make, to admit, and especially something that's deep down inside. We're looking at some things that some people may be going through some very difficult, decisions with their lives. It could be very hard for someone to come clean about that they was a rape victim. That they were abused. And so a lot of things there are very difficult to make those decisions. And we're going to talk a little bit about the steps about how to do that. But, if you're going through some of those things, you're not alone of having a difficult choice to do that. It's best that you will talk to somebody like a counselor. I would prefer a religious counselor. You can go to, another counselor if you don't want to do that, but someone to maybe help you through some of those difficult decisions that you make. Because one of the things, that's very hard for a lot of people, as Michael Jackson says, looking at the man in the mirror. What you going to say, baby?
I have too much to say. I'm going to get it.
Okay, you got too much to say? Yeah, we only got about an hour show, baby. But when, we're going to come back, and it's going to be, we're going to have one of these questions that are really going to be talking to some people, because we want to know some things about, would you come clean if it hurts somebody else? Hey, you're listening to the Let's Stay Together show with your host, Reverend Rick McCain, and my baby, my girl, my boo, Alta Brenda McCain. We'll be right back after these station identification breaks.
Hello, this is Leon Finney, your host of Another Perspective on UrbanBroadcastMedia.com. We are the voice of Black America. Join me and my guests every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. as we discuss the issues that impact Black America. Tune in to UBM Talk on UrbanBroadcastMedia.com, the simulcast on our affiliate station WBON 1690 AM. That's Another Perspective every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. And you can run and tell that.
Spread the word, let your voices be heard. Spread the word, let your voices be heard. Spread the word, let your voices be heard. Spread the word.
Yes, spread the word on Tuesday, January 13th, 6 p.m. at Hyde Park Academy High School, 6220 South Stony Island Avenue, Chicago, and Wednesday, January 14th at 12 noon, located at the Washington Park Fieldhouse.